and welcome. My name is Trish. So I do the royal predictions or the royal readings once a year, every January. So I'm really excited to shift pace, shift focus from everything else and have a look at the royals again. So I'm very excited to do that. I was going to read them all today, but I've had a couple of unexpected readings pop up today. So I am going to start with maybe King Charles and Camilla, so I may do them separately, and we'll go from there. So I may do a couple each week for the rest of January. So let's start with King Charles. I'm going to do a spread. I'm going to tap into his energy and have a look at his 2025. Taking a look at King Charles, I may pull out another deck and read a couple more cards because this is a very brief reading. It's only a couple of cards on the table. Now what I am seeing is releasing or letting go. So letting go of something possibly from the past. This could be a battle, could be Harry, but I'm seeing here, because if you just read these cards as they are, we're seeing releasing or letting go, reconnect or relive the past, something around the past or something going on from the past, staying the same or the status quo. So the staying the same, the situation doesn't change too much around the battle that's been going on, and the only battle I know of is Prince Harry. Maybe it's not, maybe there's another battle that I'm not aware of, but it's saying an end to the battle here, but it stays the same somehow. So situation hasn't budged for a little while around past events. They've stayed the same, but I feel like there could be ends coming up around that, letting it go. So letting things go, letting bygones be bygones. So maybe there will be some kind of I'm not saying forgiveness, but I am saying that there could be something going on around an end of a battle. Okay, maybe we're not even talking about Harry. Okay, I've got to really focus in on the energy of King Charles here. It says the start of it says letting go. The end of it says end of a battle. Okay, this could be the end of the battle with Cancer. So however way you read that, there could be the end of the battle with Cancer. So it stayed the same, not a lot of movement around that. So maybe that Cancer's been there for a while. There hasn't been much luck in moving it. And then we're looking at the end of the battle. Public life burnout. So burnt out from public life. Very heavy burden. So I would imagine it would be quite heavy burdens here, and having to let go of some of these burdens because he's burnt out. Now whether that's related to the battle that his health battle that he has, which is staying the same and hasn't changed. So whether that's been very taxing on him, or whether the actual stress of his public role, because that's what we're looking at, public life, public role, he's burnt out from that. There's been very heavy burdens that it's not helping him with the battle here. So here it's showing that he'll be joining forces with another person. Maybe that's William. Maybe William steps in a little bit more, and it's like a co-rulership in a way, but it's saying he's staying put. So it's saying staying put here, but there's a joining forces in some way. So he's coming together with maybe William and as I say that, it feels more correct than the Harry stuff up here. So I was just looking at a battle, and that is the only battle I thought, but then when I really looked at the cards, it is Cancer. And why I say that is because this is making me think of my card that's break free from the chains, and that is somebody with Cancer. So I always used to get that song whenever I was reading somebody with Cancer, break free from the chains. That song, can't remember who sang it, sorry. I'm not sure. I think the daughter of the Beach Boys. I'm not 100% sure of that. I don't have that logic thought right now, but I'm feeling that song. So breaking free from the chains of the battle with Cancer, so the end of the battle in some way. That feels more fitting to me than than the Harry thing, but it could be the Harry thing. We're looking at the end of a battle anyway for 2025 for King Charles. But I do see him being carrying heavy burdens, very burnt out from the battles, burnt out from the battles or the burdens of his public role here. And it is saying he will stay put, but he will be joining forces with somebody else. So joining forces, but staying put. Now, banking currency is on the table as well. So something around money coming to light here. And England, straight up England finances, financial England is what I'm getting. So something 2025 coming up around England. Actually, I'm going to start doing readings on England. I'm looking forward to that. I have family in England, so I am looking forward to start reading on the Prime Minister of England, their financial stability of England, and what's coming up for England. So I need a shift and change of pace from America. I'm also going to start reading this year on Australian politics which I am. I do have an opinion on that because it does affect me. So, and I have been affected by the current government. So I am interested to start reading on that, and also Canada because they're up for elections as well. So I'm quite excited for 2025, changing up the pace a little bit on looking at some other countries. Because last year America was very much in the focus because of the elections, but we have elections going on elsewhere this year, so I am looking forward to looking at the energy of that. But this card is what triggered all of that. This is the financial stability of England, Mother England. That's what I'm hearing, and that's what I'm seeing. So something going on around that as well. So I'm really actually excited to be taking a look into the energies of England over the next couple of weeks as well. I am seeing an energy weapon here on the table. I'm not quite sure what that is. So an energy weapon, I am feeling as I'm coming back into the England card, something going on, but I want to read that separately. I want to read that as an England reading on its own. So a predictions reading for England to see what's happening there. But I do see something coming up around explosive situation when it comes to the finances of England, or financial England. Okay, I just want to pull from my deck just one more reading for energy. This is more of energy reading, these cards. So energy reading for King Charles. Energy reading for King Charles here. We're looking at being on the outside of a certain decision or outside of decisions. I know that sounds very strange, but we're seeing a bit of chaos and turmoil going on around him, but I feel like he's on the outside of that. So it may not affect him, it may not involve him, but there's going to be some kind of turmoil around him, but not him specifically. So that could be somebody else in the royal family. It could be causing chaos and drama, but it's not. He's on the outside of that. You can see this is the five of cups. To make sure, the Five of Pentacles. I just had to double check that there then. So it is saying that it's about regret, path not taken, but I feel more like it's being left out in the cold. I feel like it's being on the outside of a decision or the outside of something. So I don't feel him connected to the chaos and drama, but he's on the outside of it. He's not getting involved in it, or he's just staying on the outside of that. Now, nutrition adjustment for him, there's something around nutrition adjustment that's required. Could be to do with his treatment. So I feel like it's more related than nutrition. I feel like it's treatment related. So there's going to be a regiment or some kind of adjustment to his regiment of treatment or nutrition that's going to be very important for him. Now I feel he'll be celebrating a compliment, or he'll be celebrated for accomplishments. So I'm not sure what that is, but it's on the table. So over 2025 there's going to be some kind of celebrating of accomplishments. He'll be doing that, or it'll be done for him. So some kind of celebrating of accomplishments here. Also emotions and deep connection. So this is around somebody around him. This is your cups, your Ace of Cups. And Ace of Cups can talk about new beginnings when it comes to relationships, or it can be talking about filling your cup emotionally. So maybe he's drained and he needs to fill his cup emotionally. There's maybe a little bit of drama involving relationships around him, and that could be a little bit taxing, but I feel like he will be coming out of that victorious. So this is celebrating coming out of that on a win. So I'm not sure what that is, strange, really strange energy that I'm feeling around him right now. It's like he's staying on the outside of the drama, so he comes off looking victorious. Maybe that's the way I'm meant to say it. Or high honours, like, I'm not sure what high honours, maybe that's around giving out awards or receiving awards or some kind of high honours or awards I'm picking up there as well. I'm not quite sure what that is, but yeah, I'm picking that up as well. But is staying on the outside of something. Now, one more question I just want to ask, because somebody asked me about his standpoint on green energy or green. I'm not quite sure how they worded that, but the standpoint around the economic forum. Okay, well, that's interesting, because that last card that came out was related to the economics. I said like financial England, but maybe we're talking about the economic forum. Maybe that's what that card was meaning. Okay, so let me just pull back there and let's go into his standpoint on his beliefs. Okay, big news coming up from the economic forum. Affected by weather or affected by external influences. So decisions made by the, is it the WEF? Big news coming out around it anyway, but affected by weather. Actually, what we could be reading here is the effects of weather. Because I think that is one of his things that he's into is the climate. So the climate and the weather, the changing weather patterns to do with the climate. I'm pretty sure that's what he's into. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like maybe that was related to the question that somebody had asked me in the comments. Okay, big news around that. What kind of big news are we having? No, changing cards. Big news coming around weather. Okay, so I'm feeling tension escalating when it comes to weather events in a big city that cause outages or darkness. So could possibly be an illusion or a distraction. And here we're looking at, we've shifted away from, isn't that strange? Like the whole energy changed. Like I was reading King Charles and it was like one energy. And then when I start talking about the WEF, because that was one of the questions, the whole energy of the reading just changed. Like I'm no longer tapping into King Charles, and I feel like it's because in that reading where it says he's on the outside of that, I think that's what's going on here. It's like he may be on the outside of those decisions. Maybe that's what we're talking about. So he's not actually involved in decision making, and I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't. I don't follow that. I don't get into how much pull he has in that area, but it showed me on the window he was on the outside of it. So making decisions or being involved in something, he was on the outside of that, and where it's going to cause a bit of chaos and drama coming up in 2025, he kind of stays on the outside of that. And maybe that's to save face for him and make him look like we had the celebration card, so that makes him look like achievements and celebrating, and makes him look good, victorious even, but because he stays on the outside of being involved in those decisions. So whether he makes those decisions but doesn't show to, which it doesn't feel right to me when I say that, or he actually doesn't have any input into that, and maybe he's just driven by interest, I guess. And yeah, that's really interesting. That whole spiel then was all interesting, really interesting energy. I'm not feeling it's coming from King Charles energy though. I'm not picking up that at all. I'm picking up somebody else's energy right now. I don't know whose energy I'm picking up. I'm picking up a very prominent person actually, like a prominent ruler, but it's not King Charles. So, and isn't that strange? It's not like kingly rulership. It's rulership of maybe leadership. I've probably said it in the wrong way. Somebody, the leader or the head of something, of an institute or a thing. That's who I'm reading right now. I don't know. I don't have a name, but I know that there's somebody that asserts great power and influence, maybe even over King Charles or over England. I'm not sure which one that is, but it has a great deal of power and influence over England itself. So yeah, really interesting energy of the person that I'm reading right now, and I don't know who they are, but yeah, very, very different energy to King Charles, and it keeps bringing me back to King Charles being on the outside, like it's on the outside of that. Now, he does have the regret, it could be called regrets. I could have read that last spread as regrets, but I keep reading it as him being on the outside of something around this kind of stuff. Weather driven, things that go on in a big city, tension escalating, power outages. So I do feel a little bit of tension in England, and I don't know why I'm reading England already when I wanted to do that next week, but I do feel it's triggered from my question about King Charles's interest in WEF or in the climate. This is where this is going. It's leading me in a completely different direction away from his energy, which is very strange. So it shows on the outside, on the appearance, he's interested in these things, but when I tap into the energy of these things, I don't feel his energy. I feel somebody else's energy, somebody very powerful that's not him. So yeah, very quite strange. I don't know. Do you know what that is? Do you know, is that a thing? Is it a thing? So, but this is what they're showing me. They're showing me distractions or illusions around a big city, tension escalating, power and outages, but big news around weather coming or escalating weather for England, which I don't even want to be reading on England right now, but this is what's happening. So I'm going to leave it here for this reading, but I am going to pick it up again once I get through all the royal reads for January. I'm going to start reading a little bit more on England and what's going on with them, because I do feel like there's some really major things happening in England this year. So thank you for joining me.